big step forward in the race for a vaccine. The UK just approved the Pfizer vaccine, paving the way for approval here in the U.S. Plus, experts tell us who should get it first.
Freezing fog plays a big role in our weather today. Everything from cooler temps to slick roads this morning.
If you live in Spokane, get ready to pay more in sales tax, what it means for the average person, and why the city council made the decision in the middle of the pandemic.
I'm trying to really kind of make something sweet out of the sour situation.
A juxtaposition and alliteration inspired an Idaho teen to create a sweet surprise for those fighting the virus.
Up with KREM starts right now with Jen York, Joshua Robinson, Jeremy Legoo, and Dana Marie McNichol.
6 o'clock now on our Wednesday morning. Welcome back to Up with KREM. Spotify is out with its most streamed artists of the year, and this is among its 320 million users. So take your guesses now. Up ahead, we'll find out who beat out Drake for this year's most streamed artist. Any guesses?
I don't know, but Jen and I were just talking about how I don't even know what song I listened to most this year. I'm gonna have to check.
You got to go click on it. It walks you through a whole story. It's wonderful. And at the end of it, you go, oh man, I did that.
Yeah, right?
Our producers were looking at that this morning and saying, wow, I listened to, 25,000 hours of, music this year, or, something like that. But it really gives you a breakdown of everything you did this year.
It's wonderful. Wow. And it takes you back. You go, oh yeah, when the lockdown first started, that's what I was jamming.
I'm guessing there was probably a lot of somber, sad tunes if you're stuck inside.
Maybe. Or maybe it was just fun. I don't know.
But hey, if you're headed outside today, it's pretty cheery, but it's awfully cold, Jeremy.
Yeah, can you see my breath? Temps down in the mid to low 20s early on this morning. We've got some patchy freezing fog around here. It's kind of getting a bit better. Up in the sky, I can see a couple stars, but looking out, it's still a little bit foggy in a few areas, and the evidence is still there. The rime ice on some of those trees. Oh boy, does it look beautiful. I can't wait till the sun comes up. And if you have some of that, please send us in pictures, 509-448-2000, because it is going to be absolutely incredible when the sun comes out, especially if you live in Airway Heights where visibility is down below a quarter of a mile. If you're down in Walla Walla, I promise you, you are going to have those trees look like they've been flocked. All of the rime ice on those trees is going to look exceptional. It's fog, but temperatures below freezing mean it's freezing fog early on today. Does that last all day? It lasts for a good chunk of it. The reason that is we have a lower sun angle and a bit of an inversion due to our current weather pattern. Notice it's not really cloudy at all. We don't have any showers moving in. That's from our high pressure. That sinking air kind of just shoves everything down into those valleys, including some of that moisture. See this line? It's just straight. That's a little closer to what we're going to see in terms of temps today. We're not getting up to near 40 degrees. I keep telling this thing it's not, and then it says, oh no, we are. I think we're going to top out in the mid-30s because of some of this freezing fog and our low sun angle. That combination is just going to keep us a bit cooler today. So bundle up as you head out the door, and low beams do a better job of getting through the fog than high beams.
All right, good advice, Jeremy. Yeah, certainly it's going to be foggy this morning if you're headed outside. Thank you.
Yeah.
All right, breaking news overnight. Great Britain granted permission to Pfizer for emergency use of its COVID-19 vaccine.
Yeah, so this means the UK will be the first country in the world to begin vaccinating its population. It's the first coronavirus shot in the world backed by rigorous science, and experts say this is a major step towards eventually ending the pandemic.
So health leaders say 800,000 doses will be available next week in the UK. Healthcare workers will get the vaccine first, and next week leaders could give the go-ahead for the use of that vaccine here in the U.S. The FDA is currently reviewing both the Pfizer and Moderna vaccines.
When a vaccine is approved, the U.S., the CDC recommends that healthcare workers and nursing home residents should be at the front of the line when shots are available. An immunization committee voted on Tuesday to recommend to give priorities to groups of any vaccination program. Doses are expected to be very limited. Together, the recommended groups is about 24 million Americans out of 330 million. The chief advisor for Operation Warp Speed says we can can expect every American who wants the vaccine to be able to get it by June of 2021.
This is the most complicated vaccine campaign in United States history.
Current estimates project that no more than 20 million doses of each vaccine will be available by the end of 2020, and each product requires 2 doses.
Well, state leaders say the vaccine could be in Washington state by mid-December. The Washington National Guard is standing by now for a request to distribute that vaccine. The Guard can help supply helicopters, trucks, soldiers, and help with logistics. American and United Airlines, along with FedEx and UPS, have planes with refrigeration, and together they can transport millions of doses throughout the country. Alaska Airlines says it's also ready to help get those vaccines to remote locations in Alaska. The airport in Bethel alone serves 70 villages.
A Seattle-based clinical therapeutic trial for COVID-19 has been successful and will expand. The Infectious Disease Research Institute announcing this week that initial testing of the immunotherapy treatment has been successful on patients with mild to moderate COVID symptoms. The study has been in the works since March, and the cell therapy treatment works to control the COVID infection and improve the body's immune response with or without a vaccine. Research leaders say they will now start testing on a broader range of people around the world, and will of course keep you updated on any developments.
This morning, health experts are expected to shorten the quarantine window for those exposed to COVID-19. Today, the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention is expected to change it from 14 days to 10. A senior leader says the new guideline will also allow people to resume normal activities 7 days after a negative test.
Despite the federal recommendations, Washington State's 14-day travel advisory remains in place. Governor Inslee issued a travel advisory on November 11th asking Washingtonians to stay home for 2 weeks if they travel outside of the state. The governor's office tells us they are currently reviewing the 10-day guidelines from the CDC.
6:06 now. Well, farmers markets are making a return today in Spokane. This is after the park, or this afternoon rather, the park is hosting the first Winter's Farmers Market in Riverfront Park. Nicole Hernandez is joining us live now to tell us more about it and what artists and vendors are going to be there. Hi, Nicole.
Yeah, good morning, Jen. Right now I am in absolute awe of this view here in the middle of the pavilion, and absolutely gorgeous. And just like us, Riverfront Park is getting ready to start their holiday celebrations, and today we're talking about everything that's happening under the pavilion. So first up, like Jen mentioned, that farmers market that's happening starting tonight. So on Wednesdays, the pavilion will be getting extra festive, hosting Riverfront's Winter Farmers Market. That will be every Wednesday starting today and going through January. It will be from 3 p.m. to 7 p.m. focusing on local shopping. So take a look at this. Here's a list of just some of the vendors that you will see under the pavilion lights. There'll be Big Barn Brewing, Functional Pottery, Highland Honey, K2 Greens, Swell Coffee, the Scone Ranger, and there are more than those already planning on setting up booths tonight. And then Riverfront Park says that they can also fit another 20 vendors as the time goes on and the months go on. On top of the winter market, though, there will also be light shows. The pavilion's lights will shine for Spokane every single day for the next month. The holiday light show will start at sunset and continue until 10 p.m. every day. Just check out that gorgeous view here of downtown underneath what feels like the stars under the pavilion. Those are just two of the super exciting things that are happening at Riverfront Park here. And then tomorrow morning, we're actually going to be highlighting another special event that Riverfront Park is doing as well throughout the holiday season. Live in Spokane, I'm Nicole Hernandez.
Festive down there in downtown Spokane. Love all the Christmas tree lights, and I'm sure that farmers market will be popular today.
Yeah, looking forward to checking that out. All right, 6:09 now. It's time for your morning rush. More news in less time.
Well, the pool at the YMCA in Spokane is open for swimmers. The pool there, as many of you asked at home there, how is it possible that it's even open? A state proclamation says pool facilities are not included in the closure of indoor fitness and training facilities. The Department of Health reports the transmission of COVID through water with chlorine is unlikely. That's only though if the water is properly maintained. Spokane YMCA pools are open for several different activities, including lap swimming and private swim lessons. Reservations, though, are required.
Well, not today, Mr. Grinch. A real-life Grinch would have stolen Christmas if it wasn't for Spokane police and the help of the community. 43-year-old Eli Van Sickle was arrested and made his first appearance in court on Tuesday. So he stole 50 Christmas trees from River Ridge Hardware last Friday, and all of those trees have since been returned. And not only that, some great news to share. The store gave the trees away to all first responders as a thank you for their service.
Oh, I love that. Well, this morning there is no end in sight to the end of the closure of the U.S.-Canada border. Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau says the ban on non-essential travel with the U.S. will remain in place until COVID-19 is under control around the world. That ban has been in place since March.
Well, in sports, WSU head football coach Nick Rolovich announced last night running back Max Borghi returned to practice this week. However, that does not necessarily mean we'll see the All Pac-12 player out on the field this weekend. Borghi hasn't played a snap in a WSU football game this season due to an injury he suffered during training camp. He's one of the team's top returning players. And that's your morning rush. More news in less time. Let us know what's happening in your neighborhood by using the hashtag #UpWithKrem on social media. Well, Spotify is out with its most streamed songs of the year. After the break, we'll tell you who topped the list.
We've headed into the shortest days of the year, and it's not just about how long the days are, it's about how high that sun gets in the sky and what that does for freezing fog that we're seeing this morning.